Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the new moon in Aquarius that's happening on February 9th. I have the tarot pulled up, I have oracles pulled up. There's a lot of stuff going on. So let's get started. We're going to start first with looking at the planetary breakdown so we know where the planets are, and then we will get into the aspects. So the sun, moon, and Mercury all in Aquarius, with Pluto also being in Aquarius as well. So we have a stellium in Aquarius, we have Venus in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, Jupiter in Taurus, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, and Neptune in Pisces. So we do have air, water, and earth mainly in the chart right now. So lots of grounding, definitely being in your head, but also emotions underlining the surface of every single thing, because of course it is. Okay, so when it comes to the aspects, okay, we do have the sun in conjunction to the moon, because obviously the sun is in Aquarius, the moon will be in Aquarius, so they are working as a team. So there is an alignment between your ego and your emotions during this period of time. However, we do have the sun in a square with Uranus, which really amplifies some of the chaos that's going to be stirred during this particular new moon. So you guys know how people like to complain about when there's a full moon, when it's a new moon, like people just complain like, oh my God, it must be a full moon or something, or it must be this. It's going to kind of be like that. You're going to see certain things, or certain people even just kind of making these kind of comments because certain things are going to happen. The sun square Uranus is definitely it's like the worst that's coming is a punch in the gut. If I'm being honest. And honestly, looking at the tarot and the oracle, it's like coming to terms with a punch in the gut, coming to terms with like the fact that there's something that needs to be overcome at this time. It's definitely certain things that have been pushing the self to go into introspection right now, which is something that does happen during Aquarius season, because Aquarius is the sign that rules over detachment. So there is a part of this where it feels like there is a reevaluation happening, there is a restructuring happening, there is a processing of a situation that occurred that is still in process. Like, you're still processing it, you're still taking time to kind of go over how you feel about everything, which is okay. To take your time and do that is absolutely a-okay. The moon is also in a square with Uranus. So emotionally, there's a lot of there is an upgrade that is happening. Mentally, there's an upgrade that is happening. It's like you are having to become your best self after going through so much turbulence and after going through so much that it's just like, okay, I need to pause and heal now. I need to pause and reflect now. I need to pause and reevaluate and kind of regroup so I can have it all the way together, right? So it is a process, and it is going to take time, and it's not just going to be shifted or changed in a day. So it's really important to not lose yourself in the doubts, the fears that come up, the frustrating moments, especially when you start replaying stuff as you are reflecting. Is really important not to beat yourself up from the situations that you are overcoming. Okay, do not beat yourself up. Do not there are certain lessons that is in motion of you processing, that is meant to right now evolve you into what the future is going to be. Because remember, Aquarius does rule the future astrologically. There is that relationship between Capricorn and Aquarius where Capricorn is very grounded, very in the moment, but Aquarius is the futuristic energy of how Saturn moves. So while Capricorn is the current embodiment of being grounded in the moment, being established in the moment, Aquarius is like, okay, but how do we evolve moving forward into the future? And so when we talk about being in Aquarius season under an Aquarian moon, there is an evolution that's happening emotionally, mentally, within relationships, within your purpose, all of those type of things. So just keep that in mind. Uranus might be rocking you emotionally, throughout this time, especially looking at the tower. But there is a healing process that's happening through all of this as well. So just be gentle with yourself. Mercury will be in a square with Jupiter, okay? There's definitely a lot of stuff happening mentally. There's definitely a lot of any type of resistance that you've had to try to like process, like you didn't want to accept the truth about something. You don't, and honestly, this came up in the cards, like not wanting to accept the truth about something or see things clearer that's not happening. Like you now need to unequivocally accept the situation for what it is, and essentially start to move on in a way that makes sense to you, because that's the really important part. If it doesn't make sense to you, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to completely grasp and for you to fully understand. But it needs to make sense to you, and the messages and the clarity that you are having, it might feel like, oh my God, why did I miss the signs, or why did I push away the signs? There were so many red flags. There's so many like things that came up that I saw but I ignored, and like it's like Jupiter's really going to expand your mind into that deeper understanding during this period of time. Be very mindful of even if you start overthinking, just try to do what best you like, especially because everybody has their own kind of routine, whether you need to go to therapy or you need to talk to a friend or a sibling or some sort, in order to work through your thoughts. Make sure that you are holding space to work through your thoughts, because if not, you're going to have a really hard time working with the Mercury squaring Jupiter energies. There is a lot that's being clarified, but your ego might resist the information, and it makes it a lot harder to navigate your life. So it's important for you to ease your way into accepting things, but also don't take your mind so far where you start to make yourself bleed mentally against your own self as well. Like, try to do what best you can for you and for the situation, but don't get to the point where you're wrecking yourself because of the situation. You understand? Okay. Venus will be in conjunction to Mars. So relationship wise, there's definitely a little bit of sensitivity going on, especially because y'all, Valentine's Day is literally next week. There's this like really funny thing that I always say every year. If you've been with me for a long time, you will know. Valentine's Day is definitely funny that it falls under Aquarius energy, even though it makes sense, because it's literally like Aquarius is the energy of the collective, and we're all choosing this one day to celebrate love, right? And relationships and that kind of thing. So it ended up falling under, Aquarius, right? But even though you could say, oh, it should have been under Taurus season or Leo season or Libra season or something like that, which would have made sense for the Venus energies, right? But it's under Aquarius energy because we're all collectively doing this thing. We're collectively choosing to celebrate the energy of love. And so with that comes the people who are not in relationships or are out of relationships or have, are in situations with relationships that are not necessarily the best. And so within those situations, it tends to be a little bit of a rough time. And it's really important to work with the Venus and Mars energy to the best of your ability so it can benefit you the most. So try your best to find some grounding throughout this period of time, because especially right now, coming out of Capricorn season, and navigating Capricorn energies, the earth energies, but also with Venus and Mars both being in Capricorn, is literally the best time to focus on grounding for relationships, stabilization for relationships. This is a great time to set intentions for marriage, to set intention for the future, for what you actually want, deserve, or what you're calling for. Venus is also in a trine with Uranus, so this can shake up relationships where it's if someone does not want to take that commitment further or does not want the same things that you want, if you guys are not in alignment anymore, you can see shifts. So also keep that in mind. There's going to be some shifts happening, and with that shifts comes a lot of pain sometimes. So it's not always kumbaya. Mars is also in conjunction with Pluto, so it's there's changes happening. If you're like in this kind of zone where you're just like, you know what, my New Year's resolution is to get this together, or I want this year. I feel like I've been wanting this for a while and I haven't received it. I don't think I want to do this anymore because it's not sitting in alignment with me right now. Like if it's something is not, keep in mind that as we start exiting Aquarius energies into Piscean energy, we're going to be reflecting a lot about, you know, the things that we want to take action for when the new year actually starts, which is in Aries season, which is in March, in spring. So it's like right now, there's a lot of reflection. Like Aquarian energy will have you alienating yourself from literally everything in order for you to process. And that's totally, totally fine. Take your time to not like rush forward right now. And it's literally coming up in the cards. That's the greatest part. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. It's like, slow down, boo. Slow down. Why? Because your head is racing faster than anything else. Like your head is on fire. Okay, your head is on fire. You don't need to rush the process. You need to especially because the next two cards, listen, the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands. It's like, you don't need to rush the process, and you need to also understand there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, because you have the card of mental heartbreak, mental and on this emotional level, like how words, how the situation, how a conversation, how a relationship has broken down to this kind of degree. And then you have the card of trauma. So obviously there's some relationship trauma that's going on. The last card being the Hanged Man. So it's literally telling you to like stop moving forward. This particular new moon is not necessarily about initiating stuff. It's more about healing and processing things and getting clear up here. So use the Aquarian energy for what it is. It's not Aquarius energy it's a fixed energy. It's a fixed sign. So the things that you've been fixated on that no longer serve you need to be readdressed. And that's really what's happening right now. There is a readdressing happening, and you will be coming out of this season with a lot more clarity than you were trying to address before. A lot more clarity, but it's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a little bit of work. Mind you, bottom of the deck is this, okay? You see how we're with underlining energies is the sun to the moon. You guys know I always stop at the next major arcana. Okay, so we have the sun, we have the Eight of Swords, so there's liberation happening. The Five of Swords, two swords, okay? So we have a lot of swords in this reading already, but then we got more swords, so more mental shit going on, right? And then we have the moon. So we're ending with this like secrets unrevealed, things like understood, like understanding the subconscious, that the real motivations of certain people, how they're actually been moving, how they've been acting, why they've been doing what they've been doing. Like there's a rhyme and reason of why these things are happening. And it's like, it goes from the moon, right? The Piscean energies, the secretive energies, the what is hidden, right? Your intuition, like not wanting to address like some of these things, like the fact that the liberation needed to happen, all the way to the sun, which means that you're ultimately going to feel a lot lighter after this experience, but it's going to take a little bit of time, and you're going to have to do the work. Now we have compassion, harmony, which is what you should be seeking, okay? Centering yourself, your damn self, and peace, which is what did I always say? My number one goal in life is peace, is to have peace. Because if you have peace, you're not dealing with this. Okay, so this is what's important right now. Get that harmony. Focus on really working through whatever is coming up. If you need to communicate with someone, do so. Don't, like, if you feel like you need to alienate yourself, mind you, it came up on here again. Solitude is literally the last card. This is the deck from the Romeo and Juliet oracle cards. And these are the cards we got. So we have Rosaline, which says conserve, chastity, serious, and formal. So conserve your energy, conserve, like pull back. It is not the sign. Resisting, face your heart, do not follow blindly. Don't make excuses for people, whoever needed to hear that. We have Juliet, inner strength and independence. Very much Aquarian energy right now. Confessions of love. Say, I love you. And it's really important to take this in mind, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. Self-love is also very important. Okay, and if you have not done that upon yourself in a minute, is a great time to reconnect with yourself. And then solitude. Calm down, listen to your inner voice, reduce anxiety. Anything that's just like doing too much up here, it got to go. You got things to do. You got people to, you got nobody to see. Actually, you should just be alone for right now. Okay, so that is the breakdown for the new moon. Okay, I'm gonna go finish my tea. You guys are also going to get a witchy thrift store haul. Even though it was way more like, it was way more cottagecore than it was anything else. It was just like a really spring thrift store haul, because me and my mom and my sister actually got to come together after they came back from DR, and I came back from Puerto Rico. And like we actually got to see each other from like them going to the funeral. I didn't get to go because like so basically my aunt passed, right? And the tickets to fly to the Dominican Republic were like $3,000. And so like we decided that it was either going to be me or my sister that was going to go. And so my sister ended up going with my mom at the time. And so it was just like the best for the situation. But I wanted to go really bad, but it was right after Christmas, like literally the day after. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, listen. And then the second January hits, it's like a whole ass different price. These holiday prices are crazy. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna start venting. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for giving me grace with some of the things, because I did have to pause or like extend certain readings and stuff like that, because it was obviously I was not able to do it like during certain times, especially during my birthday week. I was in Puerto Rico grounding, and I had to do ceremony. I literally could not, I had to like pause certain things. So I am getting back to sending everybody their stuff, and we're working on readings right now, and we'll have like a special and everything soon, and we'll do all of the things. We'll probably do something for Valentine's Day, so keep an eye out on the newsletter if you are subscribed to my newsletter. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all of the love and support, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.